Ooh, we've had quite a few book orders recently.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's great. Maybe we should go check on the stock.
Yeah, let's go see how many books we got left. Oh.
We're almost out.
Oh, I thought we had more books than this.
You know what you should do?
What?
Jack the price up.
I can't jack the price up. I can't do that, can I?
Yeah.
Can I? No, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give people one more week to get the book at the current price. And then I'll jack the price right up.
Scarcity.
Scarcity. This limited edition book will never be printed again. And with most copies sold, now is the time to get yours before they're all gone forever. It's weird though, I thought we had at least 3 more boxes of books.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Adam? I really appreciate you helping me unload the books. You're a good friend, you know that?
No problem, mate.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
Yeah, I think
Right,
so.
after you.
All right, yeah, I'll put these in the spare room, I think. Oh man, we got through these pretty quick, didn't we?
I'm almost out of firewood.
Hey?
I said I knew we would.
Yeah, brilliant, eh?
Yeah, you'll sell these in no time, mate.
Yeah. What a guy. What a guy.
Oh, yeah. Who's chasing all now, eh, Gavin? Hey? Oh, burn, baby, burn. Oh, get in there. Yeah, you got a face like burn, baby, burn. You're all sold out now, Gavin. You're all sold out. Yeah, we'll make sure of that.
It's day 3 at Writing on Stone Provincial Park, and I'm going to go east and you're going to go west, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess I'll see you in a couple of hours then.
Yeah. All right.
After parting ways with Methuselah, it became apparent I'd made a mistake. Well, I've got up to this overlook after just ditching Grumpacious on the trail, and I'm a bit sad because there's nothing in the way of cloud. Oh dear. It's kind of making me think I should have got up 3 or 4 hours ago and just done some astrophotography. The moon was out, so maybe I could have got a moonscape, but for sunrise, I don't think it's going to happen. But anyway, I'll rattle off a few test shots and see what the light reveals in this semi-darkness. Yesterday I found this really nice viewpoint that looked over this bend in the river, so I wanted to come back to that whilst the sun was rising. I had high hopes for it, but unfortunately I've got here now and it does look great, but unfortunately the river is not reflecting because it's so windy, so it's just this sort of ugly, complicated, rippled mess that is not pleasing to the eye. So that whole concept, I don't think it's going to work unless magically the wind stops and it calms down, but I don't expect that that's going to happen because since I woke up it's been quite windy. My guess is that's going to continue, so I don't think this idea is going to work, which means I'm probably going to have to go back west where Grumpacious is and where I've been shooting for the last 2 days and repeat myself. Well, I'm going to try not to repeat myself. I'm going to see if I can find something new, but this is just not working, so I'm going to have to rethink this and go for a plan B or C. Right, so I found a composition that I actually quite like, and this is something I want to talk to you about, and that is the concept of adaptability. And so it pays to do a recce wherever you go, to walk around and get in your pocket a few ideas so that if your first idea doesn't work, like mine just didn't, you can adapt and do something else. So originally I wanted to shoot in that direction and follow the river and hopefully get a reflexion on the river of a nice rising sun. Well, the cloud would light up and reflect in that river. Well, that's not going to happen because there are no clouds and the sun is about to pop up. So yesterday, one thing that I remembered as we were walking around this whole place is that over in this direction, you can see behind me, there's these beautiful yellow cottonwood trees. And so it occurred to me yesterday, wouldn't it be nice if when the sun pops up in the morning or during the sunset, those just light up, just get lit by that sun and just ignite on fire. So if those cottonwoods light up, That'll be fantastic. Give me a really nice splash of colour. But also what I now like in this shot, now that I'm facing completely a different direction to what I was originally thinking about doing, so I really like all of these hoodoos, obviously, but I also like this snaking river that you can see in the background. Let me just move over, maybe I'm blocking it. I love that curve that you can see there, and then the sweetgrass hills in the background. Now, I would have preferred like a proper S-curve, but you get what you get when you come out to these places. You can't change the direction of the river. I'm sure if I was high up in the air with the drone, I could reveal that lovely S-curve, but you can't fly drones, can you? Anyway, but my point is that basically, as long as you're adaptable and you're not too stuck to one concept and you've got another idea in mind that might work under any circumstances, because that cottonwood idea will still work even if nothing happens in the sky, because I might even use a telephoto and zoom right in, or maybe shoot a really narrow pano that doesn't really feature much sky, or even any sky. I reckon the sun is about 15-20 minutes away from rising, so we shall see if my idea works.
Well, they can't all be portfolio images, and while I liked this composition, what it needed to make it magnifique was some spectacular light. And sometimes you get all of the ingredients for a great shot, but without that special light, it's really just filler. But I wasn't going to let that stop me from sticking around just a little bit longer in hopes of getting a second shot.
Well, the sun's almost up and there's a nice hot glow in the east, but it's not really helping me all that much. And it's so small. It's just a little thin, skinny sliver that, not really doing anything for me. So I'm ignoring that and I'm facing this way, which is south, in preparation for once that sun pops up and all of this begins to glow. So I'll show you this composition that I framed up. I quite like it. So let me talk you through this composition. I'll just brighten things up. So I've finally found a spot where I've got that lovely S-curve in the river, and I love it because it comes in from, I would say, centre left, then goes right into the just off centre, into the right of the frame, back in, and then all the way out towards the sweetgrass hills. So that's really cool, that top half of the frame. And then the bottom half of the frame has these lovely hoodoos. And in particular, I love these on the bottom left because I love this kind of slightly framing shape. It's kind of like a lovely, again, it's another S-curve. So I've got this S-curve and then that S-curve. So whenever you can get a double S-curve, that's always a nice thing. But also I love this splash of colour that I've got here with these yellow cottonwood trees. So hopefully, I mean, the sun is coming from, it's coming from that side. You can see the light is already hitting the side of the camera. So what it's doing to my camera just there, I'm looking forward to it doing the same to these rocks, and in particular those cottonwoods. They should just really light up. So that is my 4:3 aspect ratio composition, and I'm shooting at 32mm. So all I've got to do now is just wait. The sun is about to pop up. I can just see it coming over the horizon, and we'll see how this turns out. I don't think that we'll get much in the way of strong light on its first appearance, but then it should clear that thin band of clouds in about 20 minutes. And then I think once it's cleared that, that's when you should start to see this whole valley light up with some beautiful side light. Let's see if my prediction is correct. Well, while I wait for this sun to pop up over that strip of crappy cloud, I shall just enjoy a nice snack. And I've got this good to go bar, which is cinnamon pecan flavour, and it's certified keto. So let's give it a try, see what it's like. Looks good. Oh. Oh, God. It's delicious. It's so good. Let's have another piece. Delicious. If you're watching, good to go. Get in touch.
Now, you know me, I'd like to take credit for my perfect prediction of what the light would do, but let's be honest, it was rather obvious.
So here comes that beautiful side light that I was talking about. You can just see these hoodoos are starting to glow with that lovely side light, and so are the trees. The trees are really starting to pop. Let me just switch off all of these so you can just see a clearer version of it. Even these bushes down here in the foreground. So I'm going to get this shot. Let me go back to my display so I can see what the correct exposure value is. I'm going to just underexpose it ever so slightly because I don't want that sky to be blown out. I'll probably just bracket as well. So I'll take one of those, take a much darker sky, take that, and then I'll brighten things up. And you can even see the grasses over by the beach there. Let's take this at the correct shutter speed. Just over there on the beach, you can see those grasses starting to glow. Catch that beautiful side light. So this is just going to get better and better. And then up in the hills at the top, I really like that. This should get better and better for about the next 10 or 15 minutes, and then the sun will be a little bit too high and that light will be a bit too harsh. So I'm going to stop blabbing to you right now. I'm going to crack on and concentrate on getting this shot. And if the shot turns out to be any good, here's the shot.
So I didn't get a killer shot, but I've got to say, spending some quality alone time in the middle of nowhere, far from all the stresses of modern life, was exactly what my soul needed.
Well, I reckon this is about as good as it's going to get. The sun's quite high now, so I reckon it's time to call it quits. Get back down to the campground, have another coffee, a better breakfast than the good-to-go bar. Grumpton was actually talking about staying for another day, mainly because he wasn't too happy with the shots he'd got. And I don't think he will have got a killer shot today just because the light wasn't great, so he's probably going to want to stay here for another day, but I'm feeling hoodooed out. So I think it's time for me to move on today and go to somewhere new, perhaps somewhere where there be dinosaurs.
And so I shambled back to the camper, picked up my lady and left Grumpacious behind. We then set off for the next location, and it wasn't long before we needed to stop for a caffeinated beverage.
We just stopped for a quick coffee on our way to Dinosaur in the literal middle of nowhere. But we should be there in about an hour and a half here.
Do you think husbands beat their wives out here in the middle of nowhere just for fun?
Well, it's possible, but maybe there's some wives beating husbands out here. You know? Did you think of that?
Yeah, I have been thinking about that. I'm only kidding. Or am I?
Yeah, I thought we had more than that, but yeah, pretty quick.
What's that, firewood?
Hey?
I knew we would.
Yeah.
No problem, mate. You'll sell these books in no time. I'm almost out of firewood.
What?
I knew we would.
Yeah.
I knew.
Oh, thanks for helping out, Adam.
No problem, mate. Happy to help.
Yeah, thanks.
No worries.
Oh yeah. Rubbish. I'll tell you what, these books are now burn well. Better than any wood I ever used. Who's chasing all now, eh? Gavin.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Oh, actually, I like that picture. Oh, yeah, burn. Oh. get in there, get in there. Go on, get in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah.